What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the LetDirtFly YouTube channel. Today we have an exciting video because we got some lift kits from Perfex Industries that we're going to be installing. But we're actually not going to be putting them on our quads.
No.
Technically they're ours, we own them. But they're actually going on my fiance's and his wife's quad.
Yeah, the ladies are getting lifts.
That's right. that could be taken a couple different ways.
You know what it is.
So over here we got Jill's 2017 650 XMR. So we got the 2-inch lift kit for this. So for 2017 to 2018 XMR.
Perfex actually just came out with this lift kit, so this is
one of the first.
Actually, it is probably one of the first lift kits. So he had to actually go through and redesign his lift kit just for the 17 and 18. So we're going to throw that in and test that out. And then over here, we have the Can-Am Outlander 500 through 1000. So 500.
Non-XMR.
Yeah, non-XMR.
It just looks like an XMR, but she's not.
No,
she's a
500.
Still a 500.
Soon to be 650, but she's still got the suspension of a regular Outlander.
So yeah, right now what we're going to do is for a baseline for each quad, we're basically going to go ahead, bring it in the garage, completely compress the suspension like Seth just kind of was, so this way it's at what its ride height would be. Yeah, basically. And then get a measurement, and then install the lifts, then see what we actually gained, hopefully about 2 inches, we're kind of going for. And then same thing with Jill's quad, bring it in, check it out.
Yeah. Hopefully this doesn't take long. So this is going to be a install video, and we'll let you know if there's issues or something like that, and because that's only fair. Everything can't go perfectly smooth, so if there's issues, we'll let you know.
Yes. All right, let's go ahead. I guess
start with this one.
I guess Kill B's going in first. Fire her up, man. Let's see if you can figure out how to start the thing. Nope, he's already wrong. Oh, yeah, actually.
Make sure it was in run.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Now, careful now. There is a lot of power. A lot of power in this thing. Easy there. Jesus. Thought you were gonna snap an axle pulling it in there. All right, guys. So right now we're just gonna go ahead and get our starting measurement. So first, let's just take a look. I guess we're just gonna measure off of this guy, the line right on that, and we have right about like 27 and like 3/8 right there. So not quite a half.
What do you have for ride height?
Yeah.
Just shoot down there.
Let's see what we got for an actual ride height here. Now, this is going to be a little tricky to do. Let's see if we can actually see it. Probably going to have to actually bring the thing down there, but because as I say, we're going to go off of this and not off actual ride height or ground clearance rather, because that's a lot more accurate of a measurement. Trying to get a tape measure under there and stuff. So it's not going to be the greatest way.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Let's see what the rear's doing here. All right, and for the rears, we have about, let's call that 27 and a half. So actually, funny enough, the front and rear are kind of the same where we measured. Okay. Go figure. All right, so right now, guys, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna go through the box here and see what actually comes with the kit. And then after that, we're gonna get this thing jacked up and start messing around. Alrighty, so here we got everything out of the box. Again, as we had from when we did Seth's skid plate on his quad, the packaging is this next level here. So
it's great. So he's got it separated to rear, front.
Everything's bubble wrapped here. It's actually sealed bubble wrapped.
Yeah,
it's actually stuck under, huh?
So you got front hardware, rear hardware, which is fantastic.
Nicely, look at that.
And then you got nice instructions and 5 horsepower.
All right, guys. So right now we're gonna go ahead and jack up the quad and get the tires off and
start seeing what the hell we got to do.
Yep, probably a lot.
Probably.
Seth's getting to try out my beautiful jack. Bring her up, man. Show the people how this thing works, man. I think I spent, how much did I spend? Like
400 and change, I think.
It was like 400 bucks. I'm not gonna lie, but it's the best thing ever for working on the quads. I mean, you can get this thing right up in your teeth. All right, let's get the wheels off so we can actually see what we're doing. I apologize, the quad's still a little muddy from last time I rode it. Oh well.
Yeah, wait till you get to Jill's.
All right, guys, so one of the first things you're gonna wanna do is pop the tires off, obviously, but then also if you're on the front of the quad, wow, this thing is dirty. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, Seth.
First thing you want to do is remove your inner fender wells so you can gain access through the machine.
Seth leaves his out, and
exactly.
I know. I for aesthetics, I like putting them in.
You know what? Honestly, with them in, it just packs more mud in there
See
that you have
You're talking bad about it and it attacked you. See that? See how things work out?
You know what? I'm not putting it back. So there.
I'll put it
Take
back.
that machine.
All right, next step is actually we're going to remove the upper bolt out of the shock, which I believe is a 15 front and back, or at least the bolt side and the nut side. And we're just going to move the top bolt, leave the bottom bolt in. I don't think we do anything with that for the front. And then we actually have, Seth had this backwards in the intro.
I did, but I screwed it up. On
the right hand side here, we got these two brackets and this longer bracket. This guy goes like across the, kind of like the front. This actually is, what's nice about this, I think this is actually going to beef up the suspension too a little bit because it's kind of soft, the frame. So right now Seth's going to go ahead and get the bolts out of the top of the shock. All right, and then you have the other side here. Just got to remove real quick, pretty easy.
Just basically lift up on the hub slightly. Now I lost it.
It's up top there.
It just takes a little bit of tension off.
Yep. Wiggle enough to where you can slide the bolt out. Yeah, that's my custom radiator hose. Don't judge on that. I had to make things work. Hopefully that doesn't interfere with the lift.
All right. Yeah, you know, and just let the weight come down slowly. Don't drop it. You know.
Don't want to tear any axle boots.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next step on the 500 here. We got, yeah, they're going to be very tight. But it is the upper bolt that actually holds the powered steering on. As I told you, they like to snap.
Oh yeah, that just feels like it's coming off.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't feel like it's turning at all. It feels like it's about to snap.
Huh. Yeah, the Loctite that Can-Am uses is like next level. I don't know what the heck they use, to be honest. But that's stuff like I snapped these two bolts down here for the motor mount right there. I snapped those when I was doing my 850 swap. Like, it is mean what Can-Am does, I'm not gonna lie.
So this is gonna be the inside and this is going out as per the directions. So you're gonna take your long bolt, stick it through the top, put it through there.
You do need a spacer between there.
Yes, where is it? So as per the directions, you can see that tab is out. Bolt goes in there, although looks like the head's on the other side. And then that just goes down. Then we have that bolt for the bottom.
Got nice new hardware. Yeah. There you go.
Try not to beat up your brake line.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't need brakes. Don't need those where we're going.
That's what I was actually thinking. So the bottom goes here, and I might want to change that top just because
put the way they had
the way he had it.
Yep. All right, so that's how we should be in the first step here. All right, so on to the left side here, real quick. Same thing, there's a bolt up top here. You can see that one's missing a nut already. Loosen that guy up and tap her out. Like so.
This hole is so tight for these bolts.
Well, that's part of your steering, so you probably don't want that to move too much. All right, now we're gonna get our plate in on this side.
So again, ooh. Oh.
That was my radiator hose.
It looks like it'll work.
Oh, yeah, we're good. Yeah, I have a little bit of a custom setup going in here. A little bit of a, not gonna lie, it's kind of a rigged setup for the rad relocate because I didn't buy the actual hoses. And this kit is actually off an 850, which uses totally different hoses than a like 570 or 650 or so. This actually needs a 650 hose kit on it, which I'll do eventually, but now this is what we get. Beautiful.
Ditch in. What do we say? This one is from the front side.
Yep. We might have to take that out though, so it's kind of a temporary thing. As I was saying, that's kind of holding it for now. But
do a bracket.
We're gonna take that bolt back out.
Hopefully not that bottom one.
Not the bottom one, the top one, in order to get that other bracket in there, the big bracket in the front. Yeah. All right. Now, technically, they want you to tighten them up now.
Well, they want this one. They said secure it. So maybe
it might be this way. It holds it in place this way. Yeah, that's probably why it's this way. It holds it for you.
It could very well be. I'll just at least
snug it.
And like I'll give it a little more.
I think it's this way. It's touching. This way. Move it. There you go.
And just like the Perfex skid plate, all these are lock nuts.
Nice.
So, good stuff. You don't have to worry about lock washers and fumbling around. It just makes it much easier.
Yep. All right, so now we're gonna get to
this up real quick.
The big old bracket in there. All right, next step is to get the super big bracket that goes across the front. This might be interesting because I have that radiator hose right there. Now this is not a normal Can-Am, obviously, so normally you have your radiator here. Oh, you made it look too tight?
You know what? Just because I got to jiggle that top bolt.
Yep. Yes.
Just so I can jiggle the top bolt slightly.
So yeah, if you have a normal Can-Am, you'll have a radiator right here that is going to be in your way a little bit, but it looks like with this kit, it actually wouldn't be too hard to install at all, which is nice. So it's going to go ahead and stick the bracket through.
Said bracket.
Yep, other way. So you want to make it this way, the bends in the bracket going towards the front of the quad. Seth has it backwards right now. Nope. Just rotate. Like, nope. God. All right, yeah, there you go.
There's only so many options here.
Under that box, there you go. Now you got it. Yeah, my rad hose. Yeah, just push it out of the way.
All right, so you went from the outside. You have the bushing, if you will, the spacer. I would prefer to call it.
Yeah, it's a little hard to get in there, but
you can't see it.
Yeah, it's a little tough to get in there, but there's a
spacer in between, nut on the other side, and then you just kind of tighten it up.
All right, then we're gonna snug up the bottom bolt now. All right, so Seth's just tightening up the other side now here. Sorry, it's a little hard to fill them in there because it's dark and
I'm in the way.
Hands are taking up everything. And we saw tighten up the bottom bolt there, which is 13. Upper bolts were 15s, right?
Yep, upper's 15, bottom's 13. And you don't want to go in there.
You know, if we loosen this up a little bit, it'll
let it
help
expand out slightly.
Might even say the directions not to tighten yet or something. I don't know.
It might. We'll listen to the directions.
Not me.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, so don't tighten it all the way.
Yep, not yet.
Don't crank it home. Wait until you put the shock in. And you're reusing your factory hardware from your shock.
Just for the top here, for the main shock itself. Which is nice because it's grade 8 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This side I already put the bolt in.
There it is.
This bracket was already tight, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if you didn't have to loosen it, it was tight. Okay.
All right, so just like that, now the front lift is done. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the inner fender liners in. Just put those back in. Seth doesn't run them. You don't have to run them if you run a mud quad. I just like, it just looks factory. I like factory looking stuff. No, that's man weird. But yeah, so
I find it way easier to clean your quad.
Oh, it is, because I end up taking them out anyway to clean a quad. Yeah. But you can go ahead and put those back in, throw your front tires back on, and move to the rear. That's what we're gonna do right now.
And no lying, even with one person filming being in the way, this probably took 20 minutes from taking the tires off. So
I think if you did it yourself without filming, it'd be like more than 10 minutes. It's pretty basic so far.
So yeah, so this is quick so far.
Let's see if the back does the same thing.
All right.
All right, guys, so right now we got to the rear portion of the lift to install. Now this step is a little bit more involved, but this is actually kind of steps you need to know anyway when having a Can-Am to maintain it, because you have to take your trailing arms out quite often in order to grease the bearings and stuff like that. So we're gonna have to do a couple things. First, Seth's gonna show you how to clearance. We have to clearance the frame a little bit because the swing arm's gonna be pushed forward because of the lift. Also, we're gonna have to put some an axle spacer in. That's just going to help us so this way you're not doing this. And stretching your axle boots and stuff like that. And then
changing out this piece.
Comes with new end links for the sway bar and a new bracket, I believe, that mounts to the actual, I think it mounts to the trailing arm, I believe. We'll double check that.
Yeah, not
and
sure.
Then, yeah, so right now Seth's gonna just walk you through.
Start taking it apart.
Yep, everything's 15 millimeters, 10 millimeters, all that fun stuff. So basically, have at it, Seth. Alright guys, so unfortunately the camera did die on us, but got the arms out. Before we took the arms out, the directions state you just want to mark with a marking pen. You're gonna have to notch a little bit of the frame here. Don't worry, it's actually like not even a part that's like structural, like as far as like structural integrity or anything like that. It's just kind of a lip here. So we're just gonna take a big die grinder and have at it with that, clearance that all up, so this way that's gonna look nice and sharp.
And literally it's gonna look nice and sharp. You got black spray paint?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so we're gonna take some black spray paint when we're done and just touch that up so this way it keeps our frame from rusting, even though the whole bottom of this frame is rusting.
You know what? Preventative maintenance. How about that?
That one spot is not gonna rust. The rest of it will.
Yeah.
So we gotta do that real quick, and then we have some spacers for the axles that are just gonna allow it to not go in all the way when you go to tighten the hub up. Smart idea on their behalf, which is really cool. Yeah. So right now, I guess let me get the die grinder out and
start grinding.
Have at it.
I'm gonna sit here and pick grass out of your quad.
Alright guys, so got the frame grinded down. This is how I did it. Now yours might be slightly different, but I just made a nice clean cut. Looks not totally factory, but factory enough, and made it nice and smooth after I cut it. Basically I took the an actual grinding wheel, or an actual grinding disc, cut this way first and then straight back that way, then use the regular die grinder to smooth it all out, make it nice and factory-ish looking, so it doesn't look this hacked up and everything. Don't hack your stuff. But now we're just going to throw just a quick coat of paint on there, just to help it from rusting, even though this thing has plenty of rust already. But now we're going to go ahead. There's these spacers that they provide for you. That's going to go on the axle. This is going to make it so this way the axle doesn't need to be longer because it's lifted. This is why this is actually a good lift kit, because a lot of times you get the little puck spacers and it doesn't do anything for your axles, and you end up blowing axles because of a lift. So this is one of the few lifts that actually does this. Seth right now is also throwing in the nice Perfex.
I don't know if I should bother doing this yet.
So the logo goes upwards, like so. I mean, you can put it upside down if your name's like Winston or something for a W, or you can do an M for Marshall. Shit, flip them over, man. I want an M for Marshall. Alright guys, so unfortunately we have some camera issues, so I'll just overlay some text on how we did everything real quick, but it came out really good, and right now it's going to be the moment of truth, except we actually have to get the other front tire on before we lower it.
Oh, you didn't put the tire on?
I didn't get there yet. I was working on the camera stuff. Yeah, unfortunately we had to get ourselves some new wireless mics because these things, my Amazon specials, which weren't cheap, they were like 150 bucks, 180 bucks or something like that at the time, but not cutting it anymore, so we're going to get some much better audio stuff.
I'm going to have to wiggle this around the table again.
Okay, let me do that right now. All right, moment of truth. Let's go ahead and let her down. Oh, I can see it's tall already. Still got to let the suspension relax yet. Let's move the cart first. Oh, I can still see it's way taller. Wow.
Well, it dragged on the bottom.
Can I put it under before? It's still way taller. Wow. That looks good. Oh, I like that. It looks like a normal height XMR now. Sweet. All right, so we can already see it's taller.
Where's that baby tape? Here it is.
Where's the tape measure? So, what do we say? 27 and 3/16.
27 and 3/16.
And then the other one was 27 and a half. So let's see what we actually gained here. Actually, let me just give her one more press on the suspension here to make sure it's fully relaxed. Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Well, first of all, you gotta go straight there. So it's now at like
It's like 30 inches.
just about 30 inches.
So you actually gained almost 2.5.
Okay.
27 and 3/8, 28, 3/8, 29 and 3/8. Yeah, you got like 2.5. And this
back's
was
looking
27 and a half.
29 now.
So the front, you got a little extra in the front, a little less in the back, which is fine.
Still got. Oh no, it's still. Oh, it's,
You're an inch and a half.
What did we measure off the top or the bottom? Bottom, right?
I thought it was bottom.
Yeah, so it's 29 right now.
So you got like an inch and a half in the rear.
Well, right now I guess it's gonna go for a quick ride down the driveway, and we'll get some still shots to show a little before and after of it, and see how she feels. All right, guys. So we just took it down the driveway. We each tested it out. Everything feels like stock, which is awesome.
Yeah, it really does, which is fantastic.
Yeah, so one thing I was concerned about, with, and this is why you'd want to do this kind of lift over any kind of other lift, is because this is actually just, you still have the same spring rate and everything. You're not changing the spring rate because you're not adding a puck to your shock and to your spring and everything. Yes, those lifts are cheap and easy, and it does achieve the same thing, but your ride quality suffers big time.
Yeah.
So this thing still, give her a squish on the front, dude. Show her how squishy she still is, because my girlfriend does not like a stiff riding quad. This thing is still super, super squishy. I don't think it changed at all, did it?
Girlfriend doesn't like the stiffy, huh?
Why'd you have to go there? You can physically see that it's a lot taller now. It actually looks like it leveled the ride is what it did too. It was almost like
because it did raise the
the front's a little bit higher than the rear, which is no big deal. I'm not worried about that. If anything, it helps put some more weight on the rear wheels and stuff like that. Cause
helps for skimming too.
Yeah, that's true.
500 motor.
Yeah, big 500. You don't want to go too crazy and skim it too much or anything like that. But no, she came out great.
Yes, really did, and it was a very easy process. The hardest part was grinding down that piece of frame. Hopefully, you saw that part. The rest of it was a little wonky after that, but very, very quick and easy. If we weren't filming this, I don't know, probably would have been less than an hour.
Yep, about an hour maybe, I'd say tops. All right, so right now we're actually going to go ahead and film the other video, which is going to be for the 2017-2018. It's a totally different kit. We just opened up the box. We were just going to basically label this video as both, but it actually is totally different. So we're going to...
One's an XMR kit, one's a non-XMR kit.
Yes,
so.
and it's just totally different years too, but this has different trailing arms and stuff than the newer quads, so everything's totally different. So we're going to go film that right now. So if you're interested in one of these kits for yourself, we have our own code on Perfex's website. It is LetDirtFly10. You can use that right at checkout. You can use it for anything on their website. It's not just the lift kits or anything like that. I will link down in the description below the link to this kit if you're going to be buying the one for a, was it 2013 to 2017 or 2016?
12 to 16.
I think that was 12 to 16. I'll correct myself if we're wrong, but I believe that's what it is. And you guys can just click it right there, get yourself some 10% discount on it, and it'd be good to go. So with that, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. We really appreciate all the support. Seth, where can I catch us on the interwebs?
All right, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Shoot us a message. We always try and get back to you within reason. And it just gives you a little bit of something in between videos.
All right, so until next time, we'll have to catch you on Let Dirt Fly.
You've forgotten where you were.